Hello and welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right because guess what? It was a very winning weekend for the Union
It was, and it was a very good weekend. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the Union's win in CF Montreal. And
and Union 2 beat Carolina Core.
yeah, and also the Academy
The Academy
swept.
teams, yeah, the U15s, 16s, 18s, they all won. So awesome.
It was a very good weekend for the Union organization. So, yeah, before we get started, what are we wearing today?
I am wearing a shirt that you got me for Christmas. This is a Union one that's got like rhinestones. It's all kind of like very girly and blinged out. So, yeah. How about you, Kyle? What are you wearing? I know we have some listeners. I'm very disappointed because you're just wearing a black, YMCA t-shirt. That's okay.
I've been working on the
Mm,
marathon. We
It's
have over
okay.
a
I was
thousand.
wearing a York YMCA t-shirt.
Uh,
I came home and I changed, but
So, update on the marathon. We have over 1,000 runners. It's a Boston Marathon qualifier, which is huge news. And yeah, I'm overtaking this. So, my mentor has stepped aside, and
yep.
it's now the second largest York Marathon in association history, which is great, but there's a lot to go.
And it's 100 years of the York YMCA, by the way, this year. So we have a whole like celebration with our swim team and everything. So
And
yeah.
50 years of the marathon, like,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy.
But the people don't want to hear all about our
Yeah.
stuff with that. They want to hear about some soccer. So we're going to get into it. And if you don't already follow us on our various places, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as you can find us on YouTube. We have our website, theoneteamweagreeon.com. Check it out for all the articles and things that we put out there. You can find us on socials. We're at Twitter and Blue Sky at TOTWAG. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at The One Team We Agree On. You can find me at silly_Jilly on Twitter and Instagram. And I'm also on Blue Sky at Jillian Almany. And Kyle can be found at Coach Almany on those platforms.
So let's talk about the first team match.
Yeah, so Saturday, Union played Montreal, an early game. And of course, that was when I was at a bridal shower for my cousin. And so I'm at the bridal shower and I'm watching it on my phone like as much as I can. And of course, I watched it fully later. But, you know, I definitely saw some of those bits and pieces of big events early in that first half. But um, to, I mean, the Union, first of all, they get their first win, which was fantastic.
Right.
And but the way it started out, first of all, what do you think of the lineup, Kyle, when you saw the lineup?
I still think if we want to talk about it, Ben Bender getting the start. Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. However, the Kevin Sullivan news that broke by Tom Bogert, you know, it
That like SKC was interested in
yeah,
him.
yeah, well, I have interest in a lot of swimmers,
Yeah, that doesn't mean like anything that's going to happen there.
and of course, Union Twitter and Reddit went and did their thing, social media did their
No,
thing. I
the big reason is of him a big reason for him staying in Philly and developing there is because he's with his family too. I mean, he's still a teenager, you
I,
know.
I get that.
I mean,
Sure, maybe SKC was saying, "Hey, we could give you a
give him
better
playing time because
wage."
they suck,
Yeah,
you
well,
know. Like they're struggling. I mean,
well, so are
the
you.
Union kind of are too.
Yeah, so
But let's see, you can be at home and maybe I'm being the struggling, or you can go out to Kansas City and
right.
so
And I mean, everybody has interest. I'm sure there's other clubs that have had
oh,
interest.
I'm sure there's plenty of clubs that have interest in Kevin Sullivan. Let's be real, but
I mean, at the end of the day, look, I don't put too much stock in this.
mm-mm.
I I'm starting to like that pairing in the back line, Blake.
Hmm.
When Danley, who was out with an injury, and I thought Jesus, and we'll talk about him, was great on the
Yeah.
night.
Hmm.
But I also will say, Jeffett, Macania, they're still learning each other. I mean, that first goal
Yeah.
is what it is. But Harriel, Westfield on the lines, I mean, there's something there.
I'm good
Now
with
they
that.
still
Yeah.
they still need to figure out the attacking mid, and they still need to figure out the strikers. But there's a lot of good things to be
Yeah.
taken away.
Yeah, so this was a step in the right direction, but the way it started out, it's um yeah, it was definitely they started out okay, but then you have the um the ref calls a PK. And
Which Blake beat Ivan Hami to the ball,
yeah.
knocked
Yeah.
it out. I mean,
So in the end, it's called off and that's the right call.
it is. I mean, that was a wake up call,
Hmm.
but then on like 5 minutes later, I
Yeah.
mean, that goal they gave up was,
Yeah. Jaime scores anyway in the 23rd minute.
yeah. And again, like I think I forget who the announcer was, and I apologize because I'm sure Todd knows they know it.
Jessica Charman.
Maybe it was, but anyway, they got caught up on a switch,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And they didn't track back enough, and
Yeah.
then so now you got Jaime, and Mackay does a good job to get back, but in the end, he gets beat, and now he's 1-1 with Blake, and
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's a good player. I mean, Montreal has good players.
It's
They
like the
just
Union have
haven't.
some good players. They're just
Well, the difference on the day for me was both teams have very good players.
hmm.
They can't put together. Union, after they get that second goal, which we'll talk about, they put together,
Yeah.
and that was the difference. They have a
Yeah.
good young goalkeeper in Montreal.
Yeah.
And we talked about it on the Balls Round podcast. And
Hmm.
shout out to them for bringing us on. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. But we'll talk about the coaching
Yeah.
thing in a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah. So you have so VAR overturns that from Jaime and then but yeah, Jaime scores 23rd minute. There was a look at VAR to see if there's a foul in the build up, but
I
and
mean,
it stands
yeah,
in the end.
I, it stands.
Yeah. But and then of course Jeff and Owetu, they both get yellows early in the second half, so it's like, oh boy. But the thing is when that goal happens, that is I don't know how many matches is that total that Union have conceded first? Well, all of them, basically.
It's
But
7, I
yeah,
think.
too many. So it's like, oh gosh, here we go again. The Union have conceded first again. But they come out from halftime and they get one back from an unlikely source from Jeff at Sari Larson.
So I'll say this. Let's go back to the whole thing about the Union conceding goals.
Hmm.
They have. That's
Yeah.
a fair point. Nobody's going to consider it. And it's a very concerning trend that we saw in 2024
Yeah.
and we saw in 2023.
Yeah.
That said, again, NYCFC, Chicago Fire, now Montreal, they're even as of late, Charlotte, they're figuring it out. Now,
Yeah.
like Carnell said, it's only 3 points.
Yeah. It's only 3 points. It is a starting point, but
They're figuring this out.
yeah. So it does, you know, so Sari Larson, he scores that off a set piece. A nice
Can we
header.
talk about that?
Yeah.
I like the build up.
Yeah.
And then I also like how on the corner they win the ball, they get the corner.
Yeah.
And then right away, boom boom, Jeffett just goes and heads the ball in. And we've seen that
Mm-hmm.
in his time overseas in Europe. And that's what he does. He's gonna be the Ariel Harrell
Ariel Harriel.
or Jacob
Yeah.
Lessons, but he's gonna make those balls and he just cuts that corner and
Mm-hmm.
just hits it. And that's what you want to see.
Yeah.
That is what you want to see.
Yeah, so it does end up changing the momentum a bit. That actually happened. It's funny because I was at I was at the shower and I had my phone on mute and I'm watching it. And I watched the goal and I'm like, oh man, Jeff just scored. But then the camera kept zooming in on Bruno. And I'm like, did I miss something? I'm like, why they just keep watching Bruno? I didn't think he scored that. I thought that was Jeff. But
Apple's gonna be Apple.
yeah. But anyway, so it's funny because my sister-in-law, Lynette, if you're listening, shout out. And we're watching,
Oh,
oh my gosh,
she's
they scored. Oh yes. Yeah. So but yeah, so then we go to, I go to leave. It was also my niece Lainey's first birthday. I'm going to a birthday party for her. And I go to get my car and I'm like, I'm gonna put the game on, listen to it. Right when I'm leaving, you know what happens? Choo choo happens. Okay. This guy who just celebrated his birthday yesterday. So happy birthday, Jesus Bueno. But Jesus Bueno, oh man, what a goal. Um, Scores the goal to take the lead. It was what, the 70th-ish minute. So yeah, what a goal. And here the Union have their first lead of the season. And were you waiting to be like, oh, when are they going to give up the equalizer? When are they going to give it right back?
well, they had the chance in the dime moments, but
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: two things.
Mm-hmm.
First, Ezekiel Aldo.
Yes, let's talk about Izzy because yeah,
That was his best game, and I want to share something from Carnell. Here,
yeah.
let me go here. Hey,
Excellent. Just shows testament to him. Yeah, for absorbing information. There's been a lot of information, a lot of expectation, and everyone at the club has invested in him, invested in extra film, extra training on board, and he's invested as well. So, I think we can start to see, slowly turning around in terms of what he can offer us. Just not a hold-up presence, but also, physical, athletic presence, getting in behind and really changing the dynamic of a game. But again, it's only 3 points and it's only a game. Excellent.
Yeah, so this was great to see because it's what you want to see from your club record signing. He's in there making difference. This was by far his best performance, I think. Is this him finding his form?
and his whole play on the chance from, on the cross with Indiana Vasilev and then to Bedoya,
Yeah,
which,
Bedoya, oh man, he was so close.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the goalkeeper from Montreal, my guy's name's escaping me, and I know people are like, "Oh, that's that guy's name."
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it was a good match for Ezekiel. Now you want to see this coming up on Saturday, but
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely a step in the right direction. Did you have another clip you wanted to play or you good?
I mean, do you want to talk about Jesus Biosco?
Yeah, yeah, play
All
that.
right, all right. Here's Carnell's clip.
Roll that beautiful Bueno footage.
Oh God.
That's that's so cringe. I'm sorry.
He plays with a lot of pride. He plays with a lot on the line. And he gives everything every single day. So, I'm really happy for Jesus. He had a great shot in the first half. And Gillian makes an excellent save. But, I just think he was in the right spacing, the right moments. He has a good dynamic of when to attack and when to go and when to hold up, just behind, the tens and securing the defense with Makanya and Jeff. So, again, I thought the Sixers were very, very, very good today. He plays with a
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's I don't know. I know some people that I'm sure were very, very happy to see Bueno score a goal. Um,
He's been good this year.
I've I've always been very high on what he can bring. Bueno, I think, he brings a good dynamic. I love that he is really having actually a good season, low key. Like he's come in and he's been,
Yeah.
making the most of these opportunities because he hasn't always had as many opportunities as, maybe you'd hope for him.
I mean, Aldo Bull drops that ball in space and he just
Yeah.
runs in.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I mean, you saw in I think it was the 45th minute, he has that shot.
Oh, he had that, yeah, that shot that was, it was a really good save, but he makes that shot
Yeah.
and he was hungry to, get that in. So I'm sure that felt good.
There's been matches this year that he has not been good,
Yeah.
but I mean, when he's on,
Mm-hmm.
you see why the Venezuela national team calls him up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it was fine. The thing I'll take away from this match is the final, 20 minutes of the match where Yoon buckled down.
Yeah.
You
They
know,
didn't just concede like right away like they did in Charlotte.
they buckled down.
Hmm.
You saw Jeffett make that defensive play late in the match, and then him and McKine gave each other a hug. Yeah, Yvonne doesn't need to make it up there at the end, but
And of course, Montreal get a set piece at the very, very end, and
and they sell it high.
yeah, yeah,
But again, you don't need to make that play.
yeah,
I get it's defensive. You're trying to receive a lead,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. So, hey, this is the first time actually that Philly has won back-to-back matches in Montreal in league play. So, hey, there you go. Yep. And then on so any other thoughts on Montreal?
it's Montreal. And after the match, Jonathan Tannenwald talked about that Margaret
Hmm.
Deladon was going to get, you know, removed. And you hate to see that because at
Hmm.
halftime, if the match would have gone a different way,
It was looking like it could have been.
I mean, that's the
There
thing.
was there was talk of that on social media, we'll say, but
Well, social media is social media. I'm not going to put too much
no,
on
no,
that.
no. But
But
but people are thinking it at that point, like,
how can you come back from that first half?
yeah.
And the Union did, and that's credit to Cornell,
Hmm.
his staff,
Hmm.
and everybody.
They showed resiliency there and actually more fight than we've seen.
Right, but again, as somebody in our group chat said, Union are ass cheeks in the first half so far this year. I
Yeah.
mean, they have been.
Yeah.
They have not been good, and
No.
then they figured it out. We saw it in Club America. We saw it in
Yeah.
Charlotte.
They need to play an entire 90 minutes.
And until they can play that, like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep. So, yeah, when Montreal said there would be no press conference with the coach at the end, everyone's like, "Oh, well,
that's it.
yep." So,
And speaking of coaching firings, Javier Mascherano's out in Inter Miami.
yeah, he resigned. However, it sounds like yes, there was disagreements between him and some of the players and oh, come on, let's be real. Everyone I think it was pretty much a you can't fire me because I quit kind of deal, you know? That's but
Yeah,
that
I mean, look, he had the best squad last year and then won the MLS Cup.
hmm And to get yeah, like to be out
But
already, that's like
get beat by Nashville, which shout out to BJ Callahan. I
yeah,
mean,
Nashville, I mean, they beat Club America now. Like
almost beat Club. That was a very weak.
it's not Club America's best
No,
squad.
and I mean, this is going to be a really good
Yeah,
matchup
that should be.
with Tigres.
Yeah.
And I honestly going to say, I think you could have an LAFC and Nashville CONCACAF Champions Cup final.
That would probably be honestly pretty entertaining.
Toluca's really good,
Hmm.
but I also think they're going up against a very weak LA Galaxy side. No shell to sorry, Jacob. Um,
Shout out Jacob Glessens. He's been hurt. I
I
hate to see
mean,
that.
friend of the show.
Well,
But I mean,
yeah.
I know he listens, but I know he's trying to get back. And
Yeah, we want to see him get back into it because,
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, he's been very
Yeah,
solid.
he's been well enough for them to, extend his contract already. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
That which I have thoughts on, but
well,
anyway.
let's talk the other big victory over the weekend. Union 2, they hosted Carolina Core on Sunday at Subaru Park, and they won 4-1. Now, mind you, they've had very low scoring games. They'd only scored one goal in each of their first four matches. And they were just coming off a like 3 week break because it was about 3 weeks
Mhm.
since they tied Red Bull 2 on the road and then won the shootout. So the this was a more of an offensive explosion. Now Carolina Core is near the bottom of the table, okay? But this
Now,
is this is an independent next pro team. You get some players that are a little older.
can I share?
Yeah.
Can I share? Hold on. Sure. Sure. Anyway, I just want to make sure I'm sharing this
Hmm.
so we don't get. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
So here's Ryan Richter's assessment.
It was our best performance of the year. The goals in the first half were all, I would say, really high quality individual efforts that ended the plays. Of course, the one that Stas takes from the center back. But even in that play, like the way that Tyler commits to go forward, to just give the guy that Stas is 1v1 against, to give him a decision that there's a chance for a pass, like making this extra run. The Stas's second goal, second goal. Mateus, it's like a little thing, but such a smart play. He just stands in front of the guy who's running with Stas and like puts his body in the way. It's such a heads up smart play that gives Stas like the path that he can kind of run forward with, and then the build up for the first goal. Really good composure from Rafa to find the first pass out of pressure. Good for Cal not to rush his decision and take the space in transition. And then, what do you want to say about Malik when the ball comes to him in the box? He has some really incredible instincts, and some of the stuff that he can invent when he's in front of goal is unbelievable. So, so overall, I'm sorry that we gave the goal because I think we deserved the clean sheet in the game. But overall, it's really positive.
Yeah. And I mean, they scored as many goals in that match as they had the entire season, first of all, which was something.
And that was a joke with you. We're like counting the goals. We're like, oh gosh. Look,
Yeah.
I mean, the ball from Kellen.
That was class. Okay. Let's first of all,
Can we talk about the ball was great
yeah.
and
Okay.
so for a 16-year-old professional player to then chest the ball, juggle it twice, and then sell it for half volley.
Yeah. So and this is the opening goal we're talking about. First of all, backing up a little bit. Um, this was you look at the lineup of this and you're like, okay, this is pretty strong because you got Stash Korzynski coming to get minutes. He's playing and he's
Uh,
paired up there with Malik. Yeah.
Somebody in the club had told us prior to the match when we were walking up in the press box, this is probably Ryan's 10 out of 11 starters. I would say William Frere was sick.
Hmm.
Maybe you want Willie up there.
Yeah.
But I thought Tyler Gladstone was
Yeah. So
great.
you're
Yeah,
getting
I
ahead of
know.
us
I'm
here a little bit.
getting the plot.
Yeah, yeah.
Started.
But anyway, so you have him. And Andrew Rick was in goal. We were kind of talking on the way. We are like, oh, I wouldn't be surprised if Andrew Rick gets some minutes in goal because he could probably use the work. And
No,
yeah, Rick was in goal.
Stas, because
Well, and stuff,
Stas
yeah.
needs.
Yeah. And Sal Livas he was dealing with a knock, so he wasn't in.
Yeah.
But making his pro debut was Tyler Gladstone. He was on the bench for one match, but he was at midfield, and basically he took William Ferrer's place there, and I thought he was fantastic, and we'll get into how he had an assist later, but Tyler I thought did a great job. He's coming off helping the U18s win the Dallas Cup. He was really good there. He was really good in the Snow Bowl. He was the MVP of the Snow Bowl. So yeah, he's been having a really good run. So that is awesome for Tyler.
He-
So 17-year-old academy player. So, but that first goal, okay, it didn't take too long for the Union to strike here, but yeah, Kellen LeBlanc crosses just a beautiful ball to Malik, who did a good job, staying on side and timing that perfectly. And Malik, yeah, he gets it like he gets like a volley, he flicks it up and he boots it with his left foot like in. And that was one of the nominees for goal of the week. And it was getting the fewest votes, but if in my opinion, like the execution of that goal was really, really good. So
I don't care about
I don't care
goals.
about I'm just saying, like, yeah, it was awesome. So they got off to that start and it's like, all right, here we go.
Can I say something? I see why Carnell and company are giving him the minutes that they are because
Hmm.
again,
And he just got that home he just signed that homegrown and
but you
yeah.
want to give him and you're seeing the benefit of playing with the first team
Yeah.
and then getting a couple minutes. Sure, people are saying he's graduated.
I think mm,
Ah, I
I
I'm
think right now he's kind of in like the Cavan situation of before where it's like, okay, he's gonna get some minutes with the first team and get the experience, but he still needs some time
talking to
with Union too.
Ryan. Talking to Ryan. There's still things
Hmm.
now. As I told Todd, I've told Jose this too.
Hmm.
Like the jump from last year to this year
Hmm.
is tremendous.
Oh, for
I
sure.
mean, no one's saying that, and I
Hmm.
think he could play, but also, can we just let a 16-year-old develop? Maybe this, like they. Here's my theory. This is a wild theory. Like Kevin was, uh, test point zero, like like subject zero,
Hmm.
and they're figuring out what they did right, what they did wrong, and now Malik's
Yeah.
subject one.
Well, and
And I don't mean to put it in that
yeah.
way, but organizations, clubs learn
Hmm.
from their best
Yeah.
talent, and I think he's ready for MLS. I do.
Like we said before, when he has gotten in the first team matches, he looks like he belongs. Like
He does,
he doesn't look out of place.
but it's also one of those things where I want to see more like an Andrew Rick to go back and forth and
Yeah.
maybe find his mold like, okay, this isn't working in first team. I can't do this. So how
Yeah.
do I get better playing against 25-year-old
Yeah.
guys that
Hmm.
maybe I'm better with?
Yeah.
But it's that journey. And
Yeah.
Ryan says that.
Yeah.
And even Bradley says it's journey for their development because it's a development club.
Yes.
We work in development.
Yep.
Every kid has their own journey,
Yeah.
their own pathway.
Yeah.
And
And Ryan's
that's
talked about that they have their, um, their individual development plans, and especially I talked to Ryan yesterday and he talked about the with them, it's a little different than they don't go in like 5 game, you know,
which is a
point
fair
totals. It's
question.
yeah, they look week to week and
Yeah.
then they also, look at all these individual performances. Their lineup changes so much in Union too, but
But
but to
that was such a good question.
yeah.
I loved his response to
Yeah,
that.
and these are all in my preview article for the match against Toronto FC, which is Friday, which when this is out will probably be, May. But
Can we talk about Tyler?
well, in a second, just to wrap up what I was saying before, um, I yeah, I think it's really helpful too that Bradley, Cornell, and Ryan Richter, like in that stuff, they're all on the same page and
Yeah.
like they communicate so well. I think just all of that is so, seems and also like you think about Ryan's got to talk with like the academy too, because he's got all the U18s and they have their matches. And so it's a lot of like, you think about it, Union 2 is kind of stuck in the middle of all that. So
But him and John have a great
yeah,
relationship. Him and Chris Armin have a
yeah,
great relationship. Peter McDowell. I
yeah.
mean,
So
they all do.
yeah, so but anyway, yeah, then the second goal, okay.
Can
Well,
I just play a clip?
okay. Well,
The sec. Well, no,
I
actually.
just want to kind of yeah.
Okay.
We'll get to yeah. So there were 4 goals in this match. Stash Korzanowski had 2 of them, and they were both very good. But like Stash just kind of like throws defenders off him, like he just kind of sheds them, like you know whatever, because he's a big strong guy, and
Like Ryan said last year, sometimes they just need to tell Stas to get his big ass in there.
like that's almost a direct quote. It was great, and um yeah, and he did a good job of that, and
And that's what you want to
yeah.
see. Because I even asked Ryan, like, Stas coming back, Sure, he wants to be up with the first team, but he didn't get minutes in Montreal, but he comes back, scores a brace.
Hmm.
Scored a brace against,
He sees that opportunity.
yeah, we haven't always seen that.
Yeah.
Now, Chris Donovan did a good job, and I still think Stas's path is USL. I'm going to go on record saying that.
Okay.
That's fine. But if I'm wrong, he could be a sneaky number 4 striker on MLS team.
I mean, I do think that they obviously see upside him. That's why he got the chance. So
He's so strong.
yeah, and that the third goal that was scored, his second goal, like that was just like
Yeah.
that was just I mean, that one was kind of cool. 'Cause that one just kind of rolled in. That was yeah. So they're up 3-0 at that point, and
I get the fourth goal.
now the fourth goal. Let's talk about this.
Can we actually play the clip? Because
Yeah.
you actually got a good view of this. So
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So
Yeah, so I actually got the goal like on camera here. Here we go.
I want to pause something right here. I'm gonna go back to this. So Raphael Uzcategui gets the goal,
Yes.
which you love.
Yes. Love to
But
see
I,
that.
I want to show something here. Look at Malik. Malik's on the back post
Yep.
outside the 18. Watch this. See the help there?
Yeah. She is always up on top of the pile.
Yeah, I mean, but again, Malik's leadership. Malik, I'm sure, wants that goal.
Yeah.
If it goes out, he's got a clean shot on target. But I mean, Raphael just doing that little dinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like dinking, just get the header on the ball.
Yes.
And by the way, we're not doing goals breakdown.
No, I was about to say, are you going like
No, I'm
be like
not.
Todd here? No.
No.
Everyone check out Todd's
I mean,
goals breakdown. They're great.
And by the way, he if you're listening, this is gonna be Friday. He's doing a podcast tonight with DC.
Yeah.
It's really good. Please
yeah.
check it out.
Yeah. So this goal comes on a corner though. That was Tyler Gladstone that took the corner and really did a great job of that. I mean, I know some people with that just follow the Union playing, oh, no one can cross the ball. Well, I've got news for you. Now, I know they're not like first team ready yet, but Calvin LeBlanc and Tyler Gladstone know how to cross a ball and do it well. So
I will say this. You know, a hot take.
Hmm.
One of the best players. I don't ever think he's gonna be ready. I don't know. Maybe his path is USL. Tyler Gladstone.
yeah, so
He does a very good cross. And let me share
I mean,
Richter's
and
comments.
his goal at the Dallas Cup though,
Yeah,
that had some skill too. Like
I mean,
he's been really having
I
a
don't know
moment.
if he's going to do it, but
Performance with the 18s over the past 3 months, his performance in training with Union II, and then of course the last couple weeks he's kind of really taken a big step, and you can see he's kind of running on a lot of confidence. From the playing well, 18s, national team, Dallas Cup, performing well, training well in the second team, and then he deserved this opportunity. I thought he did a really good job today. Performance with the 18s over.
all right. And so that was Ryan's comments on Tyler, and I agree with that. I mean, at the Snow Bowl, he was really good, and we saw him in Dallas Cup again. He gets that goal against Bonfuco.
Botafogo, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever I said, but it doesn't matter. The kid's got talent. Do I see him? And again, I'm not trying to speculate here. I know nothing. But his cross, that's his skill. He understands passing so well.
Yeah, so I think he's definitely having a moment. He's playing really, really well right now. Like Ryan Richter said, playing really confidently. So it'll be interesting to see if he plays, against Toronto if he's featured in that. So we'll see, but he's definitely seizing that opportunity. And another one I want to mention too from the match. So that was it was not only his first start, it was his pro debut. Another one who made their pro debut and got in the match for the first time was Andrew Craig. So congrats to Andrew Craig as well on that. He's been on the bench a few times and he's trained with Union 2 a ton and he's the captain with U18s. Again, he was huge with the Dallas Cup there as well and played with, like we talked about the Dallas Cup. I mean, I was really impressed with how well he played, but he makes his debut there coming off the bench. And, Ryan said that he thought he did a really good job too. And, so he's a player that's been around the Union for a long
Do you
time.
want to share his moment? All right, we can share that. We got it because somebody got it.
Oh, yeah, it's a big moment.
I mean, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's Andrew coming on also with Nehan Hassan.
Union 2 substitutions leading the match, number 68, Jordan Griffin. Entering the match, number 63, Nahan Hassan. Leaving the match, number 59, Tyler Bledsoe. Entering the match, number 65, Andrew Craig.
So for people who aren't familiar, that's Brandon Craig's brother. So,
Committed to Michigan.
yeah. So he's committed to Michigan, and so I think he could definitely go and ball out in college. I think that would be good. So
I think this is another Henry Bernstein, JoJo Elliott.
yeah,
Even like maybe a Gavin Wessel. The kid's got talent.
yeah,
Like
yes,
everybody's seen the Dallas Cup photo with Bufongo where he's pointing to the player on the ground just
yeah.
with the
Andrew, we still want to know what you were saying. Just saying,
no,
but
we're gonna
I'm
keep
just
it
kidding. But I
professional.
know
But
we're just kidding, of course.
having said that, it is interesting. Like he's really grown, and now, like Ryan said, he didn't have a ton to do,
Hmm.
and that's fair. He didn't. He didn't. But having seen him get those minutes finally, I know it was 4-0 at that time, and then
Yeah, they gave up the one goal, which Ryan mentioned. That was
yeah, that was
unfortunate.
unfortunate.
So
But having said that, um, let's talk about the upcoming match.
yeah, so it's a little seemingly out of order because Union 2 are playing at Toronto FC Friday night at 7 p.m. You can watch it on MLS Next Pro
So if you
for Watch
listen to
Football.
podcasts,
Yeah.
yeah,
So the tricky part of that can be, of course, a lot of times players who maybe don't get as many minutes with the first team or don't get in, but they're players that might play with Union 2, they a lot of times will then get in the next day, like on a Sunday with Union 2. But and Ryan Richter asked about this, and he said, it's still, they can make it work, especially when the first team's at home. That makes it a little
yes,
easier.
but they still prefer even,
Yeah, they still prefer to be on Sunday,
yeah,
but making the best of it.
makes
And
sense.
so I, I imagine he won't have probably the same lineup as last Sunday. It's just like it changes so much. And also the academy, the U18s play Saturday morning. And if you're out at around Subaru Park early, go check out the academy games out, right there at the
We'll be
complex.
there.
We'll be there. We're gonna go attend those. So
Yeah.
yeah, but anyway, so there's all that kind of figuring. But Toronto FC, they're pretty low on the table, but don't let that fool you because they just tied Crown Legacy, who are number one right now and playing really
Yeah,
well. They
so
just tied them 3-3, but then they lost on the shootout.
yeah, and they got some good tech, and
Yeah.
I know Ryan talked about that when you
Mm-hmm.
interviewed him this
Yeah.
week. So I want to share one thing here about
Yeah.
the attack.
No, we don't do that. We kind
Oh,
of
but
That's the
take it
wrong one.
week to week. I
That's
think that's
about
the
yeah,
the better way to do it. From he's been amazing, through preseason.
Right. That's the other one.
Two guys that can kind of make the difference for them, and going to be a challenge for our back line in the game for sure. The ability to run behind, ability to turn and drive defenders, and then quality in the final product is always what separates good attackers. So for us with both those guys, we have to make sure when they're in and around goal that we're tight to them, that we don't give them looks at goal, but as a group, we have to limit the opportunities that they're getting the ball in isolated situations. So that's a team topic, as well as the individual focus on the guys matched up against them.
Yeah, and Ryan there is talking about Fletcher Bank and Jamari Nolan. So those are the two guys that have scored all their goals, basically, which they haven't scored a ton of goals, but those guys have been the most dangerous. And
Jackson figures into that because
and Jackson Gilman, formerly of Union Academy and Union II, and Pittsburgh product there. He of course was a guest on our we talked to him and also
friend of the podcast.
Yes, he was a great interview. Go check it out if you haven't.
He was so grateful to bring back those stories and memories.
Yeah, so and I know like Ryan Richter had nothing but great things to say about him as well. So but yeah, so now they're going up to Toronto though. This is the second time they faced them, and of course that was opening day, so things changed. And that previous match was a 1-0 win for Union 2. They're of course figuring out a lot of things. They're rolling with a really young squad out there.
It's in Toronto.
Yeah, it's the season opener. So, and they did a very good job of limiting Fletcher Bank. So yeah, and Jamari Nolan wasn't in that match. So they're gonna have to definitely step it up here, and so we'll see what they bring. And again, 7 p.m. Friday night.
One player I want to ask about was Matthias DePaula.
Mateus DePaula. Yeah.
Why I keep saying Matthias?
It's okay, because of the way it's spelled. But no, Mateus DePaula, another U18, and who's been really crushing it.
He's been amazing, through preseason, and now into a few matches, 2 matches in a row, starting with the second team. He's been incredible. The energy that he brings in the game, the quality that brings in the game, but just how smart he is on the field, and he helps a lot. He really helps the team a lot because he's really clever on the ball, takes good decisions. And then defensively, he has the right balance of when to be aggressive and when to hold your position, and can kind of pick up the spaces when you see someone out of position. He's confident and enough to kind of communicate to guys, and he's grown into a real leader. So it's been pretty cool to see. Yeah, and what we want to see him growing is just more of this. A player with his quality who is helping control the game a lot for us. We need him on the ball more and more actions against the ball. That's what I would say is we want to see him more in the game, because he has the ability to kind of help dictate the tempo for us a little more. So as he grows into this role and as he gets more confident, that's where I see him taking the biggest step in the next few weeks.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be one to watch, and he just committed to Penn State recently.
He
that
did.
Came out in the last week, so good for him. Great choice.
And having said that,
Mhm.
I mean, is he gonna? Where's his future gonna be? Because
What is he gonna pull a Frankie?
well, if or CJ,
Yeah.
if he keeps balling
Yeah.
out like this,
Yeah.
this is not a
Yes.
guy on the radar. We knew about Mateus.
Mateus.
I know.
Kyle.
Oh, Kyle.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But no, seriously. There's a lot of talent there. I mean, you saw how talented they are when they were at the Dallas Cup.
But the thing I like about him is
Mhm.
he is so intelligent.
Yes.
He knows how to replay. You know who I'd love to see him pair up with?
Yeah.
Another 6. That's with the U18s. That have been very high on.
Jet Harrison.
If you get DePaula and Jet Harrison on that same line, now you got an IQ guy with a guy that understands and has a very good understanding of, I'm a defender, but I can also score.
He also pairs well with Lennon Harrington too.
He does.
And Lennon's been tremendous as well.
And so now you got the triple diamond of Harrington, DePaula, and Harrison.
Mhm.
That's a very dangerous 6.
And Jet kind of he'll play like attacking a bit too, I think.
Yeah,
He's
well,
kind of
and that's the
yeah,
thing.
he's played
You
around
could
a lot.
sub, you could sub somebody on, like you sub on Oscar
Yeah.
Benitez,
Yeah.
and then maybe William or Kellen needs to go off,
hmm
and you put Jet up on the attacking mid.
People probably listening are like, "Who's Jet Harrison?" Hey, he's one of the U18s that he's a little bit newer, and
He's committed
he's
to North Carolina. He
but
is.
he's been really good. And we asked Ryan Richter about him earlier because he has had some time with Union 2 in training at least. So, but that's one to keep an eye on, especially at least with the academy for right now. But like, who knows? Who knows what happens over the summer? So,
I mean,
yeah,
I still think this is another guy that probably is going to go to North Carolina. I mean, North Carolina is so good,
yeah.
but if it if you really want to see some spicy things, I mean, you really want to make Union 2 good, that's a that's a midfield that you
hmm
could get behind with Ferreira, Harrison, and then you still got Benitez.
Yeah.
Mendoza's going to be in there.
Yeah,
I mean,
Timo Mendoza's been doing a good job.
uh,
You've got it's been fun to see these
and you
these
can still bring
U18s
up
really.
Gio if you need to bring in
Yeah.
Oliver Pratt. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of tools in the toolbox for Ryan to work with.
Honestly, it's been
And
really
Gallegos.
Mateo Gallegos, he's been with yeah, I mean he's an outside back with the academy, but he did make the bench though in the playoffs with Union 2. He had that
But
random appearance.
that's what I'm
But
saying.
there's it's exciting to see all this potential and see what these guys can bring when given the chance.
And just so everybody's clear, I'm not saying Union 2 are going to win the MLS Cup or even make the playoffs this year,
But
but
they're fun and exciting to watch. People go
this
check
is
them out.
like,
It's you don't know what you're gonna get with them sometimes.
but this is 2023 team
Yeah.
before it came 2024 MLS Next Pro
Mm.
Cup final team.
If you haven't been paying attention to them, I recommend check them out because it's honestly, I think it's intriguing to see what these guys can do.
I'm super intrigued with what
Yes.
this team can
Yeah,
do.
and I think again, Ryan Richter and his staff are doing a phenomenal job with
And,
guiding them.
and shout out to Henry Appaloo. He is doing like so we talk about coaching staff. Like
hmm
last year,
hmm
he was finding his way, but now I'm seeing him up there making the calls
Yeah, he was with the academy before. Yeah.
along with Fred
hmm
and along with Ross Kane. But
Yeah.
now I'm seeing him get a little bit more of a voice
hmm
this year. So I'm really happy with Henry.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see how they do and
Yeah,
definitely it should be good. And again, don't let Toronto's place in the standings fool you, but
it's not MLS Next
yeah.
Pro
And
anymore.
then of course, on Saturday, the Union are back at home playing DC United, and DC's been struggling. They just got cup set.
I mean, it's
I mean, yeah, they had a bit of a rotate line, but
yeah, I
still.
mean, to be fair, Union last year after their run in the semifinals
I mean,
almost
they
got
almost got beat by Indy 11.
yeah
So
on PK. So
So I mean, these things happen. I mean, Austin FC got bounced too.
I
Like
mean,
these things
things
happen.
happen.
Yeah, but they're taking on DC. It's still up in the air if Ty Baribo will play or not, I guess. But it'll be interesting to see what kind of reception happens there.
But
But
you were at the press conference today. I was teaching.
yeah,
So
yeah.
takeaways.
Well, yeah. So I mentioned about Ty already, and um, you know. DC, they haven't in most of their matches, they haven't given up a lot of games. A lot of goals. They have a few outliers. I asked Bradley about this, and
Um,
they've it's he said it's very much like how the Union meant to like that their coach might say the same thing about them, that their defense is hard to break down. Um,
I think I have that clip. Oh no, I
you
don't.
had it on YouTube, like
Yeah.
ready to play, um, but yeah, so it. Well, when the Union played them the first time, it was a 1-0 game, of course,
I
tiebreaker
mean,
scored. But it could be another low scoring affair, but then again, maybe the Union are finding some form. Maybe being at home. I mean, obviously they've lost at home several times this season, but I don't know, maybe it'll start to click. So who knows? Hopefully, they can feel some confidence from getting those 3 points and build from there.
This is a very big match for them,
It is.
and it is. And I think also Bradley's feeling very spicy day on that press conference.
Bradley was feeling spicy.
He was. He was
But
feeling very spicy.
yeah. So,
Jillian, how you feel about those attributes?
yeah, so
What attributes? Hey,
yeah,
hey.
but well, you know what? I respect it.
No,
As a coach myself,
take my meat hat off.
yeah.
It was the right question.
Yeah. Um,
It was a fair question to ask him, but also it was a fair
it
response.
was a fair response.
It was a fair
Yep.
response.
So anyway, the Union at home. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, DC, 7:30 p.m. And so they but again, DC haven't been in their best form, so we'll see. It's also greener goals night.
Yeah.
And again, DC hasn't been scoring a lot of goals in MLS play, so we'll see. But um it'll be interesting to see also.
I can see a 1-0
I could
two.
see that.
I can see a 1-1 draw.
Maybe they remember that this is a team that they like to score touchdowns against. Who knows? Who knows? By the way, I correctly predicted the score, not on the Montreal pod, but I predicted the score elsewhere, for the Montreal game, and I said 2-1 victory for the Union.
Jillian wants to see a 10-0 victory.
I would love to see, no, I'm not gonna get that greedy. Could you imagine though? No, I could see like 3-1 Union victory. Okay, I'm gonna be Posidelphia. I'm gonna be um hopeful, and I'm just riding that. Okay, I'm gonna push the Phillies to the side because the Phillies have been disappointing. But I'm gonna be all Posidelphia right now because go Flyers. Okay, they've got all the mojo right now. Flyers, holy smokes! And then the Sixers are going to playoffs where they're probably gonna get beat by the Celtics, but who knows? And hopefully the Flyers are playing with house money, so hopefully they go and beat the geriatric, Penguins.
Good pens.
Excuse me? That is blasphemy in this house. Get out right now. And also, you're a Flames fan. You should be like, yeah, Dan Vladar. Thank you for him, by the way.
You're welcome.
But
And
yeah,
go Timberwolves.
who gives a crap about the Timberwolves? Anyway,
Go Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards is an amazing player.
VJ Max all the way. Love VJ Edgecoat. And I love Tyrese Maxey. Those guys are awesome. But anyway, this is a soccer podcast.
Yes.
So, but it'll be interesting to see, who I would love to see. I'd love to see those guys like bang the drum at a game sometime. Also, it looked like I saw a post today that the Gaudreau family is going to be at the game.
Yeah, and that's good to see.
Yeah, so I know, especially, Johnny Gaudreau was on the Flames for so long, and you're a big fan of his.
Oh God, I have a jersey of it.
Yeah. So anyway,
I love that kid.
but yeah, if you're, yeah, did you want to say?
No, I mean, Gaudreau was a great player.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Johnny Hockey
Oh,
was
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Him, Kachuk, Monahan. Oh, that was a forward line that the Flames could have won a cup if they just had the defense, and they
Yeah.
did. And Sutter came in, but again, this is a soccer podcast,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if you're at the match, yeah, definitely, if you see us, come say hi. And
And if you're at the academy early on,
yeah,
we'll be around. So
yep.
we'll look forward to seeing you out there. We'll be out there all day. This will be a long day for us, but hey, we'll be back. We'll be back
We'll be back.
on Sunday for another episode. So we're planning on recording another episode on Sunday. But until next time, this is the one team we agree on. Thank you all for checking out, and thank you for the 117 viewers and over, I think it's over 125 on the podcast. So
Yeah, thank you.
I
Who checks it out?
appreciate it.
Yeah, and who
Appreciate
reads
it.
our articles too. So
Another great week.
yeah. So, but yeah, as always, thanks for listening. And if you don't already follow us on our socials and on our, if you don't follow our website and all that, definitely check it out and leave us comments on our podcast. We appreciate it. We love hearing from you. like and subscribe, right? So thanks again, everyone. And this has been an all new episode of the One Team We Agree On.
Yeah, like and check and subscribe. Until next time, Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
We'll see you at the game.